Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today I got another news article that most people are probably not aware of, but we're going to get into it real quick. It seems that Meta is basically changing their policy. So if you're using the AI chatbot for anything, it seems like they're going to start taking your conversations and using that to show target ads to you. So I'm going to read this article and give you my quick opinion on probably what that means for the future of chatbots and the future of AI in general. But let's get into it. All right. All right, so today we got an article from CNBC, and it says Meta green lights Facebook, Instagram ads based on your AI chats. This article was published October 1st. So the key points is basically saying Meta will soon show ads and other content to users based on their interactions with the company's digital assistant and other products powered by artificial intelligence. The company said its AI digital assistant now has more than 1 billion active monthly users. The move underscores how Meta is attempting to better tie its billion-dollar investments into a generative AI with its core online advertising business. So getting into the article, it says Meta will soon show ads and other content to users based on their interactions with the company's digital assistants and related products powered by generative artificial intelligence. The social media giant announced the update to its recommended system on Wednesday and said it will go into effect on December 16th. Users will receive notifications of the change starting on October 7th. So starting tomorrow, a day after I've made this video, you should get some notification for it. It says the move underscores how Meta is attempting to better tie its billion-dollar investments into generative AI with its core online advertising business. Meta spent the summer on a major AI hiring and spending blitz and said in July during the second quarter earnings report that AI initiatives will result in a 2026 year-over-year expense growth rate that is above the 2025 expense rate. The company currently provides generative AI abilities to users via its Meta AI digital assistant, which is bundled across its apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Meta AI is also available as a standalone app and website. Users can interact with Meta AI like they can OpenAI, ChatGPT, asking it to provide directions or generative images based on prompts. The Mark Zuckerberg helmed company also said that Meta AI digital assistant now has more than 1 billion active monthly users, although that figure is not specific to Meta AI standalone application. Zuckerberg said in May that Meta AI reached 1 billion active monthly users and added that eventually there will be opportunities to either insert paid recommendations or offer a subscription service to people who can pay to use more to compute. Meta privacy and data policy manager Christy Harris said during a media briefing that people already assumed that Facebook's parent were incorporating generative AI interactions with target ad and content recommendations. While this is a natural progression of our personalization efforts and will help give us a better recommendations for people, we want to be super transparent about it and provide a heads up before we actually begin using this data in a new way, even if people already thought they were doing so. Harris provided an example of how the update could influence the kinds of content and ads people may see across Facebook, Instagram, and Meta-related applications. So it basically goes on to say when users chat with Meta AI about how to plan their family vacations, the digital assistant's response could influence the kinds of reels, shorts, videos they may be recommended to watch on Facebook, for instance. So the reels that I see on my Facebook feed or other types of content that is recommended to me could include family-friendly travel destinations, Harris said. It could include ads for hotels or other signals that could be informed by the conversation that I had with Meta AI. So that's pretty much the gist of the article. But in my opinion, I think a lot of people have already known this. Anything you do on any of these platforms, they are training on your data. So I don't think this is a surprise to most people. But I think the problem now is with this is that it's going to be more ad related. And also another problem is the question that a lot of people don't understand is Meta transparent on selling our data to third party companies? So we understand that now we're going to be seeing more targeted ads. And I think we can assume that most of our data and most of our conversations we're having with these artificial intelligence are not private. And we can assume that our data will be sold to third-party brokers. And I think that's one of the things that Meta is not really promoting, because I think they make a lot of their money through ad revenue. So they are selling your data. They are selling your whatever you want to say you've been given to the artificial intelligence. So I would say be careful about what you're talking to with AI, because understand that a lot of your data is being sold to different people and to different corporations. And some of these corporations may not have the best interest at heart for you, even though right now it starts with ads, I'd say. But eventually, over time, the more information we give these artificial intelligence and we give these machines, especially personal information, that means it's kind of like self-doxing. You're doxing yourself in a way to where it gets pretty bad, to where I wouldn't give AI any personal information. I wouldn't give it any health information or any financial information that's going on with you, because we obviously see that right now all this information is being coagulated into their generative AI models, so they can just basically train new and faster artificial intelligence. And we're essentially giving it to them for free without paying. So we're kind of like a guinea pig in a way, because I know everybody's using different kinds of models, different kinds of AI tools, but in the policies of these tools, we're still being used as guinea pigs. They're still farming our intelligence. And the way artificial intelligence is learning based on our interactions. So it's doing its best to try to mimic us and try to give a response that sounds human. And so with this, now we see Meta and I think so many other companies, but I feel like Meta is probably the first to be transparent about it, to say, yeah, we're going to start using your AI chat specifically from the AI, and we're going to use it in a way to target ads to you. But I think it's going to go deeper than that, because if you give the AI information that you shouldn't give it, then you're going to start getting your information sold to third-party brokers, such as health information, such as financial information. Those are the things that I really want to highlight to people in this video. And I think what's going on is not new. This has been happening behind the scenes for years now. And I think Meta is just trying to be more transparent about this, what's happening now, mainly due to a lot of the things that YouTube has came out with, saying that the government has created censorship. They have basically came down and put the boot down on them, basically said, look, you will follow our lead and you will do this. So I think Meta is just trying to be more transparent, to say, well, this is what we're doing with your data and we just want to let you know. But I think that's primarily what it is, but it's still kind of like a gray area, to where we really don't know what the data is really being used for. Of course, they can say ads, but the data can also be sold to someone else, or the data can be sold to, well, not even sold, the data can be seized by the government at any time. So just be cognizant of what you're doing with your data online, and please be aware that AI is a tool, and it's a tool that's learning directly from you. So just be aware of what you feed it. Be aware of what you give it. Be aware of what you say to it, because there aren't any laws surrounding artificial intelligence right now. I think that's one of the biggest things about this scary time frame that we're living in. We're living in a season to where AI is technically the Wild West right now, and there aren't any privacy protection laws for customers and for people that are actually using AI. And I think eventually that's going to become a major hurdle, because we're pushing the buck down the road and we're waiting for money to flow more into artificial intelligence. And that's why we're giving them a pass on the laws. And I think the policymakers are giving them a pass as well. And I don't think we're going to see effective change on these policies, to where if you don't even want your ad or your data sold to different companies and different brokers, is there an option to opt out? But I don't think there's an option to opt out right now, because I think once you sign that privacy policy, or that policy that says, I want to use these certain apps like Instagram or WhatsApp, I think you're tied in. At that point, I think you're already screwed. So just be aware of that. Be aware that AI is learning from us. There are no laws, and be careful what you feed it. And I think that's the gist of this article and this information that I wanted to give out. So, but yeah, I'm going to have some other articles later today about what's going on in the business world, what's going on with the shutdown, and when can we possibly see, some some, I guess, middle ground between the Republican and Democratic Party to see if the government is going to get, opened back up anytime soon. But eventually we're going to understand, like, even that, if it continues to stretch on, it's going to affect business. It's going to affect a lot of different processes that's going on in the world right now. But we'll get to that later in the other videos. But anyway, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe to the videos, comment. If I can do anything better, just let me know, because this is my first time really doing like a face-to-face YouTube channel, and I'm just trying to feel it out. Eventually, of course, things are going to change over time, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content. And if you guys got any suggestions for any more content, let me know. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.